It's such a beautiful day today. Can you hear the birds? I can hear the birds. I can see the butterflies. I can see and hear the squirrels. It just makes me feel so good. And I know this does something for me. This is what I'd like to do more of come 2024, to just relax and enjoy what's around me. So, what are you thinking about next year? You know, as we come to the end of the year, we don't often think about how we want to enter into 2024. Leave alone that. We don't think about how the way we end 2023 is going to affect 2024. So today what we're actually going to be chatting about is how can you end the year in a way that is actually going to make 2024 intentional and purposeful. What you don't want to be doing is repeating the same old that happened in 2023 in 2024. It will actually mean that you have not shifted much and you are going wherever the wind blows. You are just going. So today's chat is actually going to be how to do 2023 endings in a visionary way, so that in 2024 you will be living this powerful best year ever. If there's one thing I really enjoy, it is the ending of the year, because I can look back and see, oh my goodness, this is where I have achieved what I intended to achieve at the beginning of the year, and this is where I've wasted my time, and this is where I need to improve. Now, I've actually taken down the steps of this little system that I have set up, the ending of the year and the beginning of the year, and I put it all down in this book, which is actually called Visionary Endings and Purposeful Beginnings. It's all about how do you end the year powerfully and how do you actually start the year purposefully, and how ending the year with everything I've put in this book is going to make your 2024 so successful, and you will find fulfillment because you have lived with intention and purpose. Some of us might be asking, so what's the difference between this and my having New Year's resolutions, which is what a lot of us actually do. We get down and we make New Year's resolutions. Remember, those New Year's resolutions are not done at the end of the year. Many of us wait for the 1st of January, and then we quickly sit down and we quickly start scribbling, I want to do this, I want to do this. But you know what? It's also done after you've had that Christmas dinner where you've actually sat down and you've done a lot of eating and you've done a lot of partying. And I've always sensed that it's almost like feeling guilty. So we sit down anyway and we write down what we want to do at the beginning of the year, and you hope that this is going to go through the whole year. But let me ask you, does that ever work? I guess what I'm trying to say, folks, is that you cannot actually sit down with New Year's resolutions and hope that they work for you the rest of the year. Why? Because you have not set yourself up with vision and with intention. That is why most of the time people do not actually get their New Year's resolutions fulfilled. You cannot wake up one day and decide, you know what, I am going to stop drinking, for example. Or I'm going to stop smoking. Or I'm going to lose weight. You can't do it without having seriously planned towards it, with goals and a vision and with purpose. So I always say, you know what? Out of the window, New Year's resolutions, because they don't work. But you know what works? Ending the year with vision and starting your year with purpose. Why don't we get a start on what this book, Workbook, is all about? The very first thing that you actually need to do when it comes to how do I close my year, like I said, many of us do not actually think about it. What I have done in the past is to actually sit down and give it a couple of days. I give it maybe 2-3 days. Sit down and reflect. Look at the past year. What have I done? In other words, how have I spent my time? How successful have I been in the goals that I had set out at the beginning of the year? And that is only if you've set out goals. Where have I achieved? Where have I fallen down? Where have I just not lived life in the way I would have loved to have done? And that is by, those goals that I'd set up. So you need to sit down and look back and see, where did I go wrong? Where did I do good? What needs to be improved and what needs to go away? This could be friends, it could be some patterns and habits that you got into. It could even be your job. Maybe you were not enjoying your job. Maybe you need to look for a new job. So find that quiet time and really just focus on, how did my year go? And you know something? You have to think it, feel it, assess it, take stock. Remember, this is for you. Nobody else is going to do it for you. This is your life. So personal reflection, if you don't do it, you are going to do the same old stuff next year. And you wonder, what did I do with 2024? You look back and it's like, oh my goodness, the year went by so fast. What happened? So sit down and reflect. Give yourself that time to look at your life and how you spent it this past year. That is first, major, most important about how am I ending this year. The next thing we're going to do is practical action. It's so easy to talk. Anyone can talk. But if you do not act on it practically, then, what's the point of having gone through that? So this step actually makes sure that for what you have looked at, you've come back and you've actually organized it in a way that is going to show you what it is that you actually need to do. This could also be things like decluttering your life. In other words, those friends of yours that waste your time or that are toxic to you, they need to go. I'll come back to that job that you absolutely hate going to. That has to go. Something has to change. Practical action could be you really want to learn new skills because you're sick and tired of the same old stuff that you keep doing. You want to learn something new. So that's what I mean by practical action. You need to not just talk. You need to do in those places that were going against you. Then the next thing you need to do is you need to plan and set yourself goals. These goals are going to come from the reflecting exercise, where you are looking at what worked and what didn't work, what needs to go, what needs to change, what needs to be improved on. Take those reflections that you have seen and work them into planning your goals, so that if you're going to take something out, you write it down. You even write it down why and when. You look at the things that you'd like to work on. For example, you said, I would like to find a job by whatever number of months that it takes. You write that down, and you write down when. You may have thought about, I need to be more healthy. You will write that down. Write down all the things that you would like to actually do, and then plan on how you're going to achieve them. Don't just write them down and decide, yeah, I've written them down. No, you are going back to being practical. You are going to walk out all these different steps. Very important. You need to know your goals, which comes out of the reflection exercise. You need to know what you need to change, what you need to keep, what you need to check out, okay? And then write how you're going to do it. we come across the SMART exercise. Yeah, keep them achievable, keep them measurable. Don't go and put down goals that you know you're going to sabotage along the way because you won't be able to do them. After this, what you absolutely need to do is to be able to put them somewhere. You know your goals and the way you planned for them to work out. You need to put them into something visual that you can see every day. And this is how we get to the vision board. The vision board is where you will find all the different goals and activities and categories and sections that you need to work on. At the end of the day, it is actually your drawing board of how you are going to make 2024 successful. So, and we actually have a video, you can find it here, on how to vision board. But the workbook also has, ways in which it gives you a start on what you actually need to set up your vision board. So you watch the video and you go through this on how to actually set yourself up with putting your goals from the reflecting exercise, from what you have planned, onto the board, so that you see clearly what you are going to be doing for the whole of next year. And the fantastic thing about it is that this actually helps you see every day what you are working towards. And that's why we say this works so much better than having New Year's resolutions. Why? Because it gives you a breakdown of what it is that you are working towards. And you keep looking at it. You put it in a place where you can see it every day. Take, for example, I know that I needed to focus in on my finances. I know that I had debt that I needed to clear, and it was just at the back of my mind. It became one of my goals, how to actually work on my financial systems, but also how else can I save money? How can I get rid of my the debt that I was in financially? So I put this on my vision board. So I have a section on finances. And one of the things that it has come to pass was I was going to invest. Very intentional, I was going to invest. I was going to be debt-free. And I was going to multiply the streams of income. And I was going to have total financial independence. And guess what, folks? This works. I know that what I've done is I have, after all these years, actually been investing in bonds, and I've even written it here very clearly. Bonds and the money market. I am doing that. Saving money, I am saving money. Of course, I'd like to save a lot more money, but I think I made a very good start. This has really, really helped. So now, here comes the new year, okay? The new year has arrived. You're in such a good place because you have written out all the things that you know you need to do in order to be living intentionally and with purpose. You've put your goals, you've put out how you're going to be achieving these things, and you finally put this in a place, your vision board that is, you put it in a place where you see it every day. It's a constant reminder. Now entered the new year proactively, yeah? You have set such a strong foundation for success and personal growth. How can you possibly go wrong when you've been through all these steps? I'm telling you what, folks, it is actually going to make a huge difference to how you're going to live your year and what you're going to achieve by the end of the year. You'll be extremely excited to look back and to see, oh my goodness, this has come to pass, this has come to pass, this has come to pass. For me, with my vision board, and I've been vision boarding since 2014, and what happens is that there's a roll-on, roll-off. And it all started with my very first sort of vision board, which I had to follow the steps that I have been showing you. And you'll find that this is going to roll on to your next vision board, because things will have changed. You will have fulfilled some of these things. It doesn't mean that those you haven't fulfilled will not come to pass. You've got to stick with it. You've got to commit to it. By reflecting on the past, by decluttering, and by getting yourself to a place where you can see what your desires are for the following year, your goals, and you've planned it out, how can you possibly go wrong? This book explains every single thing that you need in order to have a fantastic end of the year and a fantastic beginning to the following year, but also the way you will live your life in purpose, intentionally. And you know what? You will get a lot more fulfillment. You'll be doing the things that you want to do, not things you feel forced to do, and you'll be living a happier life. So to get our workbook, you can actually find it on www.shibera.com in our bookshop.